and real life. So, hello everyone. In this today's live stream, we are going to talk about the latest, the match between Real Madrid and Valencia, in which Vinicius has been racially abused and has been shown a red card. Uh, so, as first, I'd like to know your thoughts on what happened. What has happened? Yeah.
Okay, for anyone who doesn't know or who doesn't follow football or who has been living under a rock, uh, Vinicius Jr. has been a target yet again for racial abuse, this time by Valencia fans. Let me give you the context what exactly happened in the game. So, Valencia are in the relegation battle this season. So, tensions were high during the game. So, even the players, the fans, everyone were really on the edge. Valencia scored the first goal, the only goal in that game, and Vinicius, as you know, is the danger man for Madrid. So Valencia fans just decided that it would be a good idea to racially abuse Vinicius. Vinicius reported it to the referee, pointing the fans, pointing at the fans who were abusing him, and the referee did stop the game for a few minutes and told and announcements have been made that racial abuse won't be tolerated in the stadium or in football. Uh, then Ancelotti called Vinicius over, asked him if he was willing to continue or if he wanted to stop playing. As Real Madrid were trailing, Vinicius thought it would be better for him to stay on the pitch and help the team, and he did. And in during the dying minutes of the game, uh, there was a free kick. The free kick was taken by Real Madrid, and as you know, Valencia players started wasting time, and Rudiger just decided to shove a player, and Vinicius got involved. Uh, and when Vinicius got involved, the all hell broke loose, and as I said, nerves were playing a huge role in this game as the stakes were really high for Valencia. Real Madrid, they are going to finish second or third. That's their season decided already. Valencia, on the other hand, they are fighting the relegation battle. So yeah, Vinicius, due to all the abuse from the fans, he was really emotional at that point, and he got involved unnecessarily, I might add. So I'm not trying to make it look like Vinicius is a god and everyone else have sinned against him or something like that. There was Vinicius's fault in this as well. Anyways, the Valencia goalkeeper, the Georgian goalkeeper of Valencia, Mama Dashvili, he went over to Vinicius and he started shoving him and getting into his face. And the Valencia defender Hugo Duro, he held Vinicius from behind. I wouldn't call it choking him. He just put his arm around his neck and started pulling him back. Vinicius, he just turned around and threw his hand in his face. VR took a look, and it was a fair red card in my opinion. But Hugo Duro also should have been sent off.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah, so Vinicius got sent off. It had nothing to do with racism, the sending off in itself, but the events that led to the sending off, the events that led to the red card, were really not something I thought I would be seeing in 2023 in football. So it's very sad to see something like that in a football stadium where players just want to play.
Yeah, true.
So yeah,
Um,
that's what happened.
I mean, we've been observing this. Vinicius, time and again, has been a victim of this racial abuse. Uh, I am actually thinking, like, why would someone abuse a player racially? because the only conclusion I've been able to form in my head is, you know, I'm not justifying any kind of racial abuse here, but let's just think from the other's point of view. Vinicius is a player that, he overdoes stuff. He kind of like, uh, just a small foul also he'll make it look like a red card foul. When you have that kind of player playing against you, it's always the fans are always on alert. They're scared that a dive will maybe be given in a penalty or something like that. In that case, they tend to get highly emotional. But racially abusing a player, you cannot justify that kind of sin. So in my opinion, there are many other forms to like show your emotions, show your anger on the player. Like sometimes the fans boo the players, something like that can be done. But racially abusing someone is never the solution, or it's not justifiable. And just like Vinicius is speaking out right now, I think uh, La Liga should stand behind Vinicius, Real Madrid as well. A serious action should be taken against the fans that racially abused Vinicius. And every time this happens, only if you bring some serious ordinance will the fans listen. Because time and again we've been seeing this. Sterling was racially abused, Rudiger was racially abused. So it's not like this is happening for the first time. And the audacity of Javier Tebas to say Vinicius is overreacting and all, that just shows that, in my opinion,
blaming the
Javier
victim.
Tebas, yeah, Javier Tebas is a disgrace to football. He should be kicked out of La Liga as soon as possible. Because this is not the first time that he's um let me phrase it properly. This is not the first time that he is torturing his own clubs in the La Liga. He's not supporting Real Madrid. He has not been supporting Barcelona as well. With his strict rules and all, he's killing his own league. And I think if he doesn't stand behind Vinicius right now, I think he should be kicked out. So, as you have something to add because you follow La Liga more seriously, something you want to add about
Yeah,
Javier
so
Tebas? Yeah.
I felt like every league, not just La Liga, in every league, uh, there is there aren't severe enough punishments to fans or clubs that have been accused of or proved guilty of racial abuse. And it's not just racism. Like, why is it okay that you get to call names? Why should you be able to call yell mean stuff at players? Why
And
is
get
that
away
even
with
a
it.
thing? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Ultimately, they are still, the players are human beings, they are humans, they have emotions. And
True.
what you're doing might not look like much to you, but the way it affects a player, the way it affects a person, not a player.
Hmm. Yeah.
They are a person first, player next. The way it affects them is not talked about enough, and it's not thought about enough. uh,
True.
Now if we take La Liga for instance, not just racism, now we're talking about this Vinicius incident, but a few days back, less than 2 weeks back, you have seen what happened at Espanyol, the the fans
Yes.
crowding the
Yes.
ground,
True. True.
attacking the Barcelona player, and
Yeah.
they got away with it. Where is the punishment? Like, assaulting someone, it's like it's like a crime.
True.
You're not supposed to do that. It's not like you get immunity if you attack a football player.
Hmm.
The police and the government should take this into their hands. It's not just the La
La
Liga
Liga
presidents
president.
or the
Yeah.
La Liga board who
Hmm.
are responsible for this. I think the government is responsible for this as well. And Vinicius called out Spain and Spanish fans, saying that they are the most racial country that he has been to, that he knows. uh, he made some kind of tweet saying this is not the first time or the second or the third, something along those lines. Many of my friends told me that Spain is very is full of racists. I did not believe them at that
Let's
time, and now I know. Yeah, let's
Okay,
move
let's
on.
not pass those
So
statements. But in my opinion, I don't think Spain is the most racist country. I think Italy. There's this thing. Who has been Italy's main player this season? It's clearly Osimhen. But when the Italian league, Syria's Twitter channel posted a pic of Kvaratskhelia actually being the main guy, and they completely ignored Osimhen. So at that time, I thought, yeah, this is it. This is Italy is the most, yeah. So there's a point I wanted to touch upon. Mm, yeah, I mean, when something like this happens, and when exact like we've seen all no room for racism stances before starting matches, right? That has been done to educate fans, but I don't think that has reached the targeted audience. Like it hadn't done enough to actually change the minds of fans watching the game. I mean, this kind of behavior stems from the thought that racism is okay, but it is not. You mean the world is changing, and now you can't actually be racist to someone and get away with it. I think that
Telugulo
La Liga has to
in
make
Telugu,
sure that happens.
sorry,
Yeah.
in Telugu there's a saying "Manishiko mata godduko debba" ani. So if you're
Hmm.
trying to educate someone who is a racist, this
Hmm.
no room for racism stance, taking the knee, మహా అయితే ఏమొస్తుంది మోకాలు నొప్పి వస్తుంది. It's just going to make the players hurt their knee for a while. It's just literally it has no effect on racism and its effects, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I think it all comes down to how severe the punishments are for racism. You
I
have
mean,
like 1020 high resolution cameras
hmm,
recording
true.
every single thing.
Hmm.
you you if you want to, you can absolutely find out who is abusing players,
True.
who is
Hmm.
being racist, and when you do find that person, you ban them, you fine them, you maybe even arrest them if that's the law in your country.
True.
It's not like people don't have the technology to do that. It's just that they're not willing to do it. And my
Ignorance.
question
Yeah.
is why not?
Hmm.
Why are all this this goes down very deep into politics, and I don't want to get into it,
No,
but
no. Let's not get into that. Yeah.
these racist people, what they care about is their club. They don't care about the players, they don't care about who they're abusing, because we've seen situations where the fans of the same club are abusing their own player.
True. True.
So it's not the players that they care about, it's just their club. So if you punish the club, they'll stop doing it.
Hmm. Yeah, true. I mean, we've seen instances where Saka got racially abused after that. England missing penalties and
Penalties.
all. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um, I mean, as long as people have in mind that they can get away with this and they're not getting any serious punishment, they'll keep on doing this. You need to pass some. You need to make sure that they get this racist stuff out of their mind, and you can only do that when strict policies are implemented, strict action is taken against the abusers. Yeah, I wanted to add this, but this could be that eye-opening moment for La Liga. This could, like, maybe all the leagues across the world, to actually start getting stricter. Premier League as well as Bundesliga. We don't see that many racial abuses in Bundesliga because I'm a
Yeah,
regular
true,
Bundesliga watcher. Yeah.
true.
So yeah, This thought being endorsed by a club like Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world, will make it very serious enough that every league in the world will actually take it up, in my opinion. So Real Madrid should clearly stand behind Vinicius. Maybe very strictly, maybe they should walk out of all the matches until and unless La Liga takes a serious action. Serious steps have to be taken in order to ensure that the regulations will the regulatory authorities will wake up. Suhas, you have anything to add? And we are
For those of you
yeah.
wondering why uh, Real Madrid walking out of their games would affect La Liga, it's because since Real Madrid is one of the biggest clubs in the world, a lot of viewers want to watch Real Madrid play. And if Real Madrid walks out, they don't play, they don't get viewers. If you don't watch the game, La Liga doesn't get money.
Imagine Real Madrid walking out of a El Clasico game.
Yeah,
That would be huge.
that's one
Yeah.
of the players and clubs taking a stand against racism, against even La Liga,
Hmm.
is what is necessary at this point. Not just La Liga, every league, every club should take a stand against their league in order to eradicate this issue, because let's be honest, it's just not freaking nice. They have suffered for long enough. Like, to be honest, we are minority as well. Okay, don't just come into the section abusing us racially, because if we go to a different country, if we go to a different country, say if we go to Europe or America, there have been a lot of situations where stereotypes and racism have been rubbed up on us. uh, I can't say I know what it feels like, because to be honest, I don't. But
But it's a bad
it's
thing.
just,
You don't need to
it's a bad
actually
thing.
go
It's
through
bad.
it to know that it's a bad thing. you know I can
Anyone with
understand how
some common
Vinicius feels.
sense
Yeah, true.
can know that.
Yeah. So like I was
It's all
saying.
about,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
go on.
Please continue.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this being endorsed by a club like Real Madrid would be huge. And let's just hope that the people that have abused Vinicius won't get away with it. And there has been news that if Real Madrid won't stand behind Vinicius in this issue, Vinicius would consider leaving the club. So I think Real Madrid should take it up very seriously. And I've read this recently that like minutes ago that Real Madrid, sorry, La Liga fired six video assistant referee guys, six VAR personnel. And that was because let's not blame the referee in this game, because the for Vinicius red card, because the footage that has been shown to him in the television is only that of Vinicius punching the other player, and not that of the other guy choking him. So let's not blame the referee for that. And yeah, that's why six VAR personnel have been fired, and they should come under real scrutiny as to what they thought during that whole instance. So, has anything to add to that?
uh, Even when one part of a body doesn't work properly, as in body, and when I say body, I mean a committee, or an establishment such as La Liga. Even when one part of it is not functioning properly, you know the entire system tends to fail. So you have to make sure that everyone is perfect. And just because the referee is not racist doesn't mean the fans will hold back, or just because the fans and referee are not racist doesn't mean the fourth official will hold back, or the VR personnel, like you mentioned this time, will hold back. So everyone should be perfect. We're not like asking for much here. We're just asking for basic human courtesy. What's wrong with that? Like, why does someone's birth decide what kind of person they are? Why should the color of their skin, you know, make them a target to stereotypes, make them a target to so much trauma? Why should they have to go through all of this? It's just very unfair, and I really really wish drastic measures are taken, not just any measures, not like simple taking a knee again, or wearing those no room for racism bands around their bicep. It's just like showing off their veins or something. I don't know why they even do that. The measures need to be drastic, the
And since
punishments need to be severe.
it's already proven that that taking knee and all that didn't work out well. Play fans across Twitter have been saying, you may I mean they've been really racist, even after taking a knee and printing all those no bands and all. Yeah, so that has really not been working. So La Liga and leagues across the world have to come up with a new solution as to what to do in order to curb racism, actually get rid of it. Yeah. So let's just
So
touch
yeah,
upon that.
that's
Yeah, let's just touch upon that. Vinicius leaving Real Madrid before we close the stream. So, as do you really think Vinicius would
I
consider leaving Real Madrid?
I Shankar, if you don't mind, I don't think we should talk about anything else during this stream.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. So,
so let's
yeah,
close. Do we
yeah.
have
I guess
anything
that's
else
it.
to talk about?
Not much actually. So, let's just check if there has been any update,
Okay.
and then we'll close the stream. Yeah. Give me a sec, guys. Yeah, the whole Madrid, most of Spain is with Vinicius Junior. They're supporting him. Leroy Sané, Alfonso Davies have also put stories on Instagram supporting Vinicius. So let's just hope this becomes a big enough moment for everyone to come in and take a bigger stance against racism.
The problem is this has happened before. One player being racially abused, and a whole plethora of players having his back. But players can't do anything. It has to be the clubs and the leagues who take really really drastic measures in order to change the current situation and the current trend. Because the, like, okay, say, let's say it is Vinicius, it is a really good player from a really good club in a really good league. But this has happened before. What about Lukaku? What about Rashford? Every time any player gets racially abused, you see, thousands of people posting stories on Instagram or tweeting about it, saying, "You have my support. This should not happen again." But what? But they're still going to play. They're still going to go to the trainings, uh, going to play the match, going to take their wages. They're going to do everything unless they boycott something, unless you're really like making them suffer because of
True,
this.
true.
That's when they'll know, they'll take
Yeah, yeah, true.
better measures, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess they should be. I mean, I'm not the guy to talk about what kind of stuff they need to, take in order measures they should take in order to get rid of this. But I think the bodies know that better. The people in charge know that better. So let's just leave it to them and let's hope that something will come out of this issue, something better. Thank you guys for streaming in. Please consider. Thank you.
Let's not. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.